Hello, thank you for taking time to help us today with our testing of our app. Please briefly introduce yourself and explain how much experience you have in Tarkov or gaming in general.
My name is Saul Basaldua, and my gaming experience is a little varied. I've played several FPSs, and my Tarkov experience is 1,800 hours active.
Okay, Saul, today we'll be showing you a prototype of our new companion app and asking for your feedback. We call this usability study. This prototype is a rough mockup that is not yet built. The reason we're showing you this is to get feedback before the team builds the real version. Don't worry about breaking anything. I will be providing you with a few tasks to roleplay as you use the prototype. Please think out loud as you use the prototype. Talk through your thoughts. Use the prototype as you would in familiar settings. Point out anything you like. Also, let me know if you think of any improvements or missing functionality in the app. There is no correct or incorrect way to do things. Just do what you think you should be able to do in the way that you would like to do it. If you ever feel stuck, please let me know and we can talk about how you would expect to be able to proceed. We are in no way testing you. This is all about the prototype and what works and what doesn't. If you ask questions, I might respond with uh, some form of, well, what do you think it should do, or how would you go about it? Also, I might ask you what you're thinking at various stages of your test or of the testing. My goal is to see how you think about things. If you would like to stop at any point or take a break, please let us know. Is it okay if we begin?
Yes, we can begin.
Okay. For your first task, you will be creating an account or signing in as a guest.
Okay. How would I go about doing that?
Okay. Are you talking?
Yeah, I just signed in as guest.
Okay. It seems that the mic cut off, but it's okay. Since you have completed creating an account, now I want you to access the item list for the tracker um, and adjust the count and access the temporary list info or item info.
Okay, so I would go to tracker, and then I would want to look for a specific item. Let's say I want to look for this. I want to find four, and then I feed basic descriptions, sample text for this, right? And then it needs specific needs for it and what quest is required and the location where I would find it, and I would need to make a list, right? I can
Right
set
now, the
certain.
lists are not being able to be created, but in the future they will be. But you have completed the task, which was view the info page and adjust account. So go ahead and return to the home page. Also, make sure you talk about any feedback or why you decided to click on things and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
For your third task is create a path and save it.
Okay, so I would first go to the paths tag. The basic default map here, I recognize it as customs, and so what we want to do, ignore that line. This line will come in handy later, but right now that was a mistake. What I would want to do is mm, first take a look at the map. I was wondering on how I would move left to right on the map because I did make that line thinking I could click and drag. But first,
Okay.
the first things first is I would, with my experience, I'd use this Q skull to mark
So
info spawns.
within the paths, the tags do not function. So you will not have that functionality here. But go ahead and
Okay.
continue without them.
Okay. So what I would do is I would make markers first of locations where I know other enemy players could spawn. Knowing them would be here, I believe. These are rough estimates. I don't remember them exactly. I know there's one here, here, and then I would make my path around that. If I wanted to avoid people, I would head straight, follow this line, and path around the train and passing the bridge. And here I would hit key points like under this set where there's a stash, continuing it straight to the other stash, and then following the loop or around, clearing out this area of hostiles, and then I would move, continuing through this broken wall, continuing over, and then my next goal would be moving past that.
So
I do seem to have some trouble trying
in
to get
a
the
way
map
that
to.
you can scroll it to the side is you can click down the mouse wheel, the middle mouse wheel,
I
and
see.
oh, there you go.
Okay. And what I would do is continue. I seem to have messed around with the icon. Okay, that's fine. I guess I get a cool face while I draw now. Okay. So from this point on, I would head straight to this building, as this gives me relative cover, and I would clean it up any valuables or any point or anything that would be required or interesting to take. Then I would exit through a door that's located at this end of the building, and head directly through this side, avoiding the open area as this area is a very hostile area. I would then, as I progress through these walls, I would clear it out and continue forward down this path, avoiding these main hotspot area, and then continuing around the edge to avoid any potential encounters with other players. I would be very careful of this next area, as this is a choke point where other players from the opposite side would clash. And then I would continue forward, clearing out the area of any AI or scavs, and then moving forward, looting and taking anything that I would require. Finally, I would continue the path. Oh boy. Continue the path under the bridge and continuing over as I loop around and make my way to my extract, which can sometimes be here, or alternatively, depending on the luck, would have to end up being over here. Other than that, that would be the path that I take. If I was more oriented on PvP, I would take a different path. Instead of diverging here and cutting through, I would cut through this way towards this building, as this is a choke point where people would like to gather up, as there's high value items here. And then would proceed to hold my ground while acquiring the high value loot, and then return back through the same path. And as I get closer, I would, instead of going straight to the edge of the building, I would instead alternatively head through the open road towards the fortress, as I would like to take control of the fortress and clear it out of any enemies. The challenges that I might face here are the boss spawning in this location, or having several AI scavs mounting the weapons that are on the second floor of the building and putting down fire towards my location, as well as other variables like the sniper scavs that are located on this building up here and this tower specifically. Other than that, the path with the return back to normal, as I would head towards the terrain and again exit via that location, this location over here, or vice versa, the other location if this one is not available. Oh, okay.
uh,
Um, is there any way to erase markers?
you would have to erase your whole path. So sorry, but that's how it's gonna be. Go
Hmm.
ahead and save the path for now.
Okay, let me see. How would I go about saving the path?
There's one place you haven't accessed yet that's available on the page, and it's all the way to the left. It's the sidebar.
Okay. Ah, I see it. I see it. Okay, I would name this path with loot slash safe or PvP, and then I would like to save it.
All right, your image was saved. Go ahead and exit full screen mode so you can return to the home page
Okay.
using the back the back button.
I see.
All right. For your next task is you're going to be creating a raid with the path you just created.
Okay. Okay. I seem to have some issues with accessing the items on.
Go ahead and try again. I think
So
it might be due to the fact of the name that you saved your path with the slash. Um,
I see.
it may be creating an issue here, so that's a bug to take into consideration.
All right.
Simply go back to the path page
Okay.
and draw up a quick mock-up of what you just did, just very quick and crude. And save it without any special characters once you've finished.
Okay.
You gotta.
Well, I'll save it again.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and go back and attempt to create that raid with the path you just created again. There we go. All right. If you actually scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see where you select and start your
Okay,
raid.
and it says here an option to pick my username, so I can put my name.
Alrighty. I will be joining your raid as well. Could you give me the join code?
Okay, so the join code will be VDZD. V and Z are both capitalized, while D is not capitalized.
Okay.
Okay, I see that you've joined.
All right. And we spawned where I placed down a tag. In this raid, we happened to. Oh, sorry. Could you start the raid? That way we can go ahead. Thank you. We spawned in different places. You spawned by crossroads, and I've spawned where I placed my marker. So please allow me to see where you spawned.
So I've
You
spawned
use
here.
hotkeys.
Ah, I spawned here.
There you go. All right. So you actually come to me, and we head down the path that you drew for us. Um, so and we encounter contact where I'm going to drop the AK-47s. Right, we encounter contact from two enemies, and we get separated, and I end up over here. Oh, right here, and you need to relay to me where you ended up and what you want us to do to take care of the enemy.
Okay, so we end up. So I say I ended up here, pinned. In this situation, what I would like for you to do is to perhaps distract the enemy from my location as I'm pinned behind a truck and take some pot shots, even if they don't make contact or take down an enemy. As long as the enemies aren't looking away, I can make a move towards a different piece of cover and then get a flank or a potential different angle on the enemies, clearing them out.
Go
For
ahead and
example,
use the tools that the app provides to tell me that.
so what I would ask you to do is to move over towards this to this area right here. I can't draw it very well, excuse me. But as you can see, I'm trying to draw an arrow here in this line, this point specifically. I would have
Yes,
to ask you here.
you're accidentally clicking on the tag. You do have the availability to delete it if you would like.
Okay, so I would have to ask you to move here in this area, this point exactly, so you can provide cover fire this way. Now that the enemies have turned around, I'm gonna remove the icons. The enemies that were located here while you're here, you will be my X. The enemies here are now facing this direction, looking at you and moving towards a different piece of cover. I can alternatively, excuse me, I can alternatively move from this point here. I am having some difficulties with the button prompts.
It's
I see.
freezing up a little bit. I do apologize. Just give it a minute to catch up.
Okay. So what I would do is, as I'm here, I would move towards this location, and then provide fire from around the thing. So fire this way, to potentially pincer both enemies and take them out, and slowly just close in on them. And then as we close in on them, take them out.
All right, that's good. For your next scenario, you spot an enemy extract camping, and you want to mark them.
Okay, the app is live again.
I do apologize.
That's fine.
You can just use that location if you would like.
That's fine. I'm gonna use it. I was gonna use a different app. This is fine. I'm still having issues with the app at the moment, but I will make do with what I've got at the moment.
Okay, what browser are you using, by the way?
I am using Opera GX.
Okay. The Opera does have some issues. If you would like, we can change browser, or we can refresh the page or change browsers, see which one will make your
Uh,
application respond again.
I'll try to do the refresh pages. I don't have any other browsers that I can use at the moment.
Okay.
See?
All right. Attempt to access the area that we were in again.
Okay. So,
All right.
uh,
And now drop a tag where you saw an enemy extract camping.
drop a tag here as this area is an extract that is known to be extra camping, and this particular zone is full of bushes, so enemies could be laying prone hiding. My location would probably be around here. They'd be checking this way as people would normally come this route, not around the building. They'd be checking more this way, since most people would be on the railroad heading towards that point to either try to go around or try to get to the extract. So he'd be looking this direction, while I would be looking this direction. And I've spotted him here in the bush. Your location at the moment would be inside the building as you're still picking up items. And I've told you that I've spotted an enemy
Uh,
extract camping towards our extract.
all right. Finally, um, we find out that that extract is not the extract that we need to be leaving from, and we need to check our ammo and health, and you need to update your player status.
Um, First of all, I would make sure that I don't have any food or water already present in my current stash of items, and I would make sure to top off, make sure that my meds are good. I would like to see how I can do status and stuff like that. As you can see, this icon doesn't show me anything. Um, all right, I see. I see. Okay. So at this point in the raid, if we don't know that the location is there and this guy has not spotted us, I'd say that overall I am healthy. I would like to know what the AR button is for.
It's for armor, but arbitrarily, these can mean anything. It's all up to your team.
Okay.
And at the
So
moment, the player wheel and player status display are not connected, but they will be connected in the future. So what you see on this page will be what you see on the circles.
I see. Okay. So the A would be I'm gonna use it as my hunger tab right now. I would have it more around the red since we're near the end. My health would still be fine as we tried to avoid combat, but I'd be more at yellow considering we got attacked a ways back, and my health would be green. My mistake, as I've patched up, but my armor is more at the yellow since we did get into a combat fight. And overall, I would be in a healthy status, so I would need that to be green again. I seem to have another issue with the button.
So
Not
right
wanting to
now the
function.
overall functionality is not complete, so it is a bug.
Okay. All
And
right.
that would conclude your testing. You go ahead and extract through the correct extract, and y'all escape from the raid. Um,
Okay.
um, Other than that, do you have any feedback or anything that you'd like to add about the testing?
Okay, so I have noticed some of the buttons are a little quirky, and the icons don't work with the writing. I think if you can fix the writing over the icons, I think that'd be great help in communicating to my teammates. That this is where I am and this is where I'm moving, instead of having to remove an icon to write where I need to be, putting it over, as I would assume in a situation where if we go back to the location over here where we were in combat, if I had to go and remove your icon to right where I need you to move, that would take too long and I could be overrun at that point in time. Other situations like a little bit more fleshing out of the map, maybe putting more icons on where stuff is, I think that would also help, as well as marking down potential quest items and other things to find. Other than that, maybe also marking locations like the sniper scav that I mentioned in this location and this location over here. That would also be very helpful with the maps, so I can understand where I would be potentially being shot at if I had no idea.
Okay, I will take that into consideration. Um, Thank you for helping us again with our user testing, and I hope you stay tuned for the app.
My pleasure. It's been a great experience helping you in the app.
Thank you. Hello, thank you for taking time to help us today with testing our app. Please briefly introduce yourself and explain how much Tarkov experience or gaming experience you have in general.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is John Shryock. I have a little over 400 hours in the game of Escape from Tarkov, and have a general thesis on how the game functions. Although it has updated recently, and so things are subject to change with that aspect. But overall, I think I've got a good experience with it.
Okay, John, today we'll be showing you our prototype of our new companion app and asking you for feedback. We call this usability study. Uh, this prototype is a rough mock-up and is not yet completely built. The reason we're showing you this is to get feedback before the team builds the real version. Don't worry about breaking anything. I will be providing you with a few tasks to role play as you use the prototype. Please think out loud as you use the prototype. Talk through your thoughts process. Use the prototype as you would in any familiar setting. Point out anything you like, anything you dislike, or anything that comes up. Also, let me know if you think of any improvements or missing functionalities. There is no correct or incorrect way to do things. Just do what you think you should do, or you should be able to do the way that you would like to do it. If you feel stuck, please let me know and I will talk about how you would expect to be able to proceed. We're in no way testing you. This is all about the prototype and what works and what doesn't. If you ask questions, I might respond with some form of, well, what do you think it should do? Or what would you do in this situation? Also, I might ask you what you're thinking in various stages of the application. And my goal is basically to see how you're thinking and how your brain processes working with my app. If you would like to stop at any time or take a break, just let me know. Is it okay if we begin?
Absolutely. Let's get it.
All right, for your first task, you will be creating an account and signing in as a guest, or creating an account or signing in as a guest.
Okay. So I'm starting in with login.
Yes.
Okay. Continue as guest.
Make sure you're thinking out loud just why you decided to go there, press that button and stuff like that. But you have completed a task. You decided to sign in as a guest. This will allow you functionality inside of raids, paths, and even the tracker page, but it will be based on the instance of the page and not so much an account that has actually been created. Um, so for
Okay.
your next task, I want you to access the tracker page and the all item list and adjust the count and access the item info display.
Okay. Tracker. All items.
So at the moment, the search bar does not work. The next thing you would need to do here is access the info of any item.
Info of any item. Sounds good. I assume this I with a circle is going to have to be the description and or
So you would be correct. You've now reached the item description page. Right now, this is a dummy page, but it will later be implemented once all the information for all the items have been retrieved.
gotcha. Explains the loot lord plushie up there
The loot
instead
lord.
of the yes, instead of the actual weapon at hand here.
Yep.
Um, needed for quest. One of these will be found in raid.
Another
Quest
task
collecting.
that was included in this is adjusting the count of the item.
Ah, okay. Wow, a one.
Nice. That would complete your task. Next,
Okay.
you will be creating a path and saving it. So return to the home page.
Okay. Pressing the red box here as to simulate back. Wow, it went back. Okay. I guess I'm gonna try another one, see if it does the same thing. And it's stuck on the uh same thing as before. Okay. Well, I stand corrected. Now we have ammo. That's neat.
Yes, at
Um
the moment, the only thing that is not mapped is the images, and we do not have the description for the items within our database. All that
gotcha.
information still needs to be obtained. So right now,
Mm,
this is just a temporary display.
gotcha. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out what to do, and maybe it slipped me while you were trying to explain it to me, but what is this trying to do for me
This is
aside from
this is
giving a
just
description?
so you can track the amount of X item that you would like to in the game. I included
Okay,
all the items because I don't know what PMCs like to stock up on. And it also provides a description of the item, whatever quest you may need it for, or anything like that, so that you can get a better understanding of how or what the items are used for, essentially.
okay. And the purpose of by what I can gather, getting a count from this little number dial or however you want to put it. What what does this do for me?
It
Just
just
grab.
allows you to know how many you have in your inventory. If, playing Tarkov, I know you put things within things all the time, and
Oh,
sometimes you have things and you don't actually know you have things. So this will just help
so
you keep a little bit better track of that.
okay. And so, but to keep track of that as of now, I would have to either I would have to go to my phone and then add one of whatever item that I have.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
This would be for items that you find important. But again, I don't know
Hmm.
what PMCs consider important, so I have included all the items.
Got you. I wouldn't so much as see this as a way to keep track of my inventory, but rather I would personally be using this as a kind of like a grocery list of sorts on my phone. Say for certain items I'm not typically aware of, or either like whether they're going up on the flea market or rather quest items. That's kind of how I see the implementation of this going as of right now. Um, if I have to manually like go to my phone and add one or subtract one of whatever item I so choose, um, rather than to keep track of what is in my current inventory in the current raid. Um,
Okay, that will be taken into consideration.
mhm.
Do you have any more feedback on it?
um, I'd like to see some kind of like pictures, something I don't know, something other than this blackness, but that's just me being nitpicky.
All right.
Um,
That will also be taken into consideration. And that would conclude the first task. You have achieved all the things you needed to do. For the next task, go ahead and go to the home page,
okie dokie.
and you will be creating a path so that you would plan out a raid for your team and save it for later use.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna go ahead and press tab, or the excuse me, not tab, but the tab for paths, and this. Oh, excuse me. I had clicked the left mouse button to do that. Didn't mean to. Seems right. Mouse button does the same thing.
You would scroll through the map like you would a normal web page, so left and right scroll. I do apologize for that.
Oh, that's a little wonky. Um, is there a zoom out function?
At the current time, no. There's been some issues that actually come up with the zooming and zooming out. So it's not implemented in this prototype, but it is a feature that will be implemented in the future.
Okay. Um, gotcha. Yeah, if you can have the ability to, instead of with the middle mouse button to navigate, instead just use the mouse itself. And
So click and drag
per-
to navigate the map.
I think that would be preferable.
All right, that will be taken into consideration.
How do
Um,
I erase this?
at the current moment, there is no erasing function. You
Neat.
are stuck where with what you got. You can
Okay.
clear the map by pressing K, I think, but it may come back
Ah,
up. But you
K,
won't,
yes.
and you won't be able to clear specific lines.
Gotcha. Okay. Um,
So creating a path, basically just plan out a raid. You're going to customs and you want to obtain something and get out.
right. Um, I'm trying to figure out what this little legend here is for,
That's for the
or what this
developer. It's just
developer.
yeah. Ignore
Okay.
it. You can use tags to place them. You use the hotkeys and place them down wherever you want.
Ah, okay. Um, all right. I got a scenario for you. So somewhere up and around here, I think it's in between here is a spawn point. So I'm gonna go ahead and place. I'm gonna go ahead and use your legends. Say a W. Neat. Okay. That didn't seem to work. What I did there was I pressed W to
What browser are
connect
you
the
using, by the way?
I'm using Opera GX as my browser.
Okay. Opera GX does have some issues with the tag placing, so ignore it for now.
Hmm.
It may work sometimes,
Okay.
so definitely keep trying it if you want.
Alrighty. I'll do a cute little skull here, and that'll substitute. But what if I right click? Okay. I tried the left and right click. It didn't seem to take. All right, middle mouse button, same thing. So I'll just leave it out by there. I'm gonna go ahead and do. Okay. I tried another legend, the same method. Left and right click did not happen. Um, so okay, this path thing I'm going to share with my friends, or so the scenario is. I need scav kills, so me and my buddies are going to spawn here. Um, is there a way to change color with my uh, cursor
No,
or
not yet, but it is something we are considering. That will be kept
yep.
in the notes.
I think a tip, yeah, if that could be taken into consideration. I think black, red, blue, and potentially green or some fourth color would be nice. And I think that's all most players would need. Alternatively, you could just make a multi-color palette since we're already throwing colors in there. Um,
All right, that will be.
well, go
Yep,
ahead.
that feedback will be taken into consideration, and probably make it into the end product.
Sweet. Um, that being said, um, I will go ahead and try to place another legend. Okay, doesn't seem to work. So, me and my squad will end up traveling this way, as there is, I'll mark with X, scab spawns here, as well as way over here, but you'd probably never see them this far away with this fencing going on here. So naturally, take out any scabs that we can here, go around this way because it's blocked off here. Unless you alternatively wanted to go here for loot, that's okay too. But just for strict scav kills, we'd be going this route, take out combatants this way, make our way through here. Potential combatants in the walls, up and down the street, mainly this building. Take it out this way. Same thing in this orientation area here. Combatants up in here. For the quest, it's going to be roughly 15 kills. For those who do not know, 15 scav kills or scavenger kills. Um, and so, sorry, I'm not used to the middle mouse button for scrolling by. Uh, that being said, you typically don't just rush through here. You take the side route, going this way. Alternatively, keeping your back to a wall or something of sorts. Pick out what you can here and there, and make our way up the train tracks here, as depicted here. After that, there would be scavs as well here for opportunity to do that. You would be on top of the train bridge, picking off what you can here, and then alternatively jumping off to engage whatever scav is hiding there as well. Typically with the same aspect of keeping your back to a wall relatively, do your looting, what have you. The more dangerous aspect of this route that I am creating for my squad would be getting out here in the open with this train being somewhat of cover, but we all know how high trains sit, so it's kind of leg meta central with that. So essentially, not only would there be scavs, but there would be boss scavs as well here, occupying this area, although they don't typically um, face this way, as I try to circle an X here on the arrow that I pointed as to indicate they don't face this way. Typically, they have an MG facing this way into the what we call skeleton, as it's a unfinished building, kind of the skeleton of a building, if you will. Um, that's kind of the orientation they would be focused. Also, there is some open doors here, as you can see here, where the roads kind of go into the building and then through as so. But the objective is to, if we can, pick them off. If not, whatever. So we go around the trains roughly here. This is a death zone, as there's a combatant. Oh, shit. Um, Go this way. There's a combatant somewhere in this area, and but we can't neutralize said um, bogey, as I'll throw it in as. So we're just going to ignore that. That's just an out of bounds kind of feature that the game in of itself has to do. So take that into consideration. Just keep on rolling through here. As what this does not have scavs in it. However, this is a highly high traffic area for players, so there probably will be some combatants to deal with there. Naturally, taking precaution, as well as now we're kind of sandwiched in between two different areas to taking that potentially have combatants. Um, Also, for further note, there is another MG taking this way, although it's a 12.7 millimeter machine gun, whereas this one is a grenade launcher. Very distinct. So keeping that in mind, keeping it low and pro, as they say. Try and either go around the crack house and or through this method, whatever way we're taking it out, however we see fit. That said, another location where scavs can spawn right here. Make our way after that. After we might as well loot crack house, if it is said clear and we neutralize the threat. Um, Also a high traffic area. They kind of go together. Um, so naturally, take precaution, not just because of scavs, but because of players as well. Go around to this way again, keeping your back to the wall as you do. And probably the more dangerous part of this little route that I'm making for my team is going to be this open way with the bridge, or should I say the land bridge, that we have here, as we have multiple points of which, multiple angles of which they would any combatants could engage, whether it be scav or PMC, what have you. Um, but to go back to our current position, taking care of the scavs as we needed. Go back all the way down, cross the bridge. Potentially one at a time. I would argue just bum rush everyone across and get it over with, kind of like pulling teeth. Just knock it out once. Then, depending on how at this point, whether we have comrades hurt, we found some valuable loot, what have you, we would either a fix to extract either here. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and just circle that as exfils area. It's actually more like right here. The two different exfils potentially as that we would potentially have if we were to spawn where I had initially sentence here. Um, and we could do that route, or if we wanted some more blood on our hands, we would go here into directory or storage, as there is combatants that just spawn up and down around these areas, as well as in and out of the Big Red Barn, also sometimes referred to as Big Red. Once again, there's more foliage here as depicted by the map. So there's kind of that foliage covering us, but it's not cover. Big distinction. That being said, we need more scav kills, so we're gonna enter this way, take our scan, check out Big Red, clear through that, go right to storage. Same thing, clear it out a little more active with angles and such to take in consideration. But then we will exfil, taking whatever scab kills we have. And this would conclude our raid.
All right, that is perfect. For the next part of the task, you will take this path that you've created and save it to your user.
Okay. How would I do that?
Um, so you have access to one more thing. It's the sidebar that you haven't clicked on. That may give you some guidance.
Right here?
Yes.
Okay. A little caveat. I would somehow make that a little more noticeable. I do see now that it's a different shade of gray, um, but ever so slightly. I'll
That will
go ahead
be
and click
taken
that.
into consideration.
Path name. I'm gonna go ahead and name it. What should I name it? I'll name it Scav. Yeah, Scav. Um, River, just to be funny. Scav River.
All right. So you just
Okay.
want to save it?
Just want to save it. I did see how the text popped up as I hovered over it. I think that would.
It
I don't
is
think. I go ahead.
it is a bug currently in the app.
Got you. I figured.
Yeah.
Go ahead and save it.
All right. It will tell you that your image has been uploaded, confirming
Hmm.
that you now have that saved to your user database. Go ahead and return to the home page for your next task.
Okay.
Uh, you would be using the back buttons for that.
The back buttons. Okay.
Yeah. You may have to exit full screen.
Okay. Gotcha. I think with that being said, the an extra button here to do that without uh being full screen would be
Uh,
nice too.
I'll take the feedback and put in the notes. For your next task, you will be creating a raid with the path you just created.
Okay.
This would be
Creating
the
a raid.
active time that you would play Tarkov, and you would bring this up with your team.
Okay. And do I do that with the Escape from Tarkov tab?
If that's what you think that would do, yes.
All right. Okay. Um, I think I'll create whatever this is.
You will be
Uh,
using the map customs, by the way.
okay. Caveat real quick, just I think
I see it too.
yeah, okay. All right. Uh, having like create map or something a little more clarification as I know this is a development for a map, but having it just escape from Tarkov and then going to this a little I don't know, it kind of makes me unsure of what I'm doing despite me knowing it's a map orientated app. Nevertheless, I'll go ahead and go to customs, click on that, and I clicked on the arrow to see what map, saved map, as I assume these are just different tabs, resorting to the maps that I would have drawn on via the method that we had just done previously.
You can
So I
click on
clicked on
them
that
if you
tab.
you can click on them if you want, but you will be making the raid inside of customs.
Regardless,
Yes.
really, okay. Um, I'm not much of a labs player myself, but I know this is a wonky picture that would probably need updated at some point. I don't blame uh, the developers on that, rather than the lack of maps out there for said map. Um, just a little extra thing. Um, I'm just kind of looking through the maps, seeing what we have to deal with. Okay. I do think there is an updated map out there for this, but this would also work relatively. As for this map, there's it's missing this big portion that the game had recently added here not too long ago, and same thing with this one. Lighthouse, I'm not too well
MS Paint.
educated with. Is that really?
Yep. Um,
You could have fooled me. I That's fairly detailed for MS Paint. Good lord. Okay, but getting back to the actual task, hit customs. Um, I see my map that I had drawn on is there. So go ahead and select it, and then lower this or minimize this. I do see my drawings on this map going to and fro. Um, I'm just now seeing text here. I guess that's
Scroll
just
down a little bit. Due to
oh,
some buggy UI and like spacing issues, it drops down
gotcha.
below.
Okay. Pick my username. I assume that's going to be the one that players would see in the app um, as orientated towards my position or however I see fit to put place.
Yep. You
So
can
I'm
call
just going
yourself
to
whatever
put,
you want.
I'll just be that so we're not too crazy with names. And I'll start raid.
All right. So I'm going to be joining your raid so that I can also display, I guess, a another user being in there with you. Um, just one moment for me to get in there. Join. All right. As you can see, do you see me having joined the raid?
I do see a new individual, yes.
All right, that's perfect. All right. For the next thing, you need to go ahead and start the raid.
Okay.
All right. And while we're here, your next task is to draw on the map. Let's just come up with a random scenario and say somewhere in the path that you were drawing, I encountered an enemy, and I point a map in the map with a tag by placing it down. Wherever you
Okay.
see that tag, um, we got shot at and separated, and you're going to tell me where you see the enemy now.
Where I see the enemy. Okay. Um, Gotcha. I get, well, could you give me a little more on the scenario? Because I assume
So
we made it through this path and then
we
engaged here.
we scattered, and I'm inside of the building, right there. Yeah, exactly. And the
Okay.
enemy has since moved, and you stayed where the trains are. And
Okay.
you're trying
Um,
to allow me to flank the enemy somehow by giving me information.
are you, is there a way you as the other player mark yourself out on the map so that I could also relay my position?
Yeah, I can actually. I can go ahead and drop a tag to
Okay.
go ahead and do that. So I will relay myself as the W tag, and I am right here.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna try to use my legends as well, and that works. Uh, via pressing Q for the legend or the excuse me the icon, and then left clicking the mouse. That seems to work now on in raid. Um, that's cool. That's cool. uh, okay, you last engaged the individual here. Um, what I can presume was through the window, as I don't see him out here on the street or in the doorway. Um, my educated guess is that he's going to poke his head. That's huge. Um,
It's okay.
what is
It'll get smaller once you drop it down.
will it get? Oh, okay. So also just to note that I have two different keys for the same icon.
Yes, we're still
Just a
coming
little
up with
extra.
more icons to actually display. In the future, they will be a thing that you can choose yourself and upload to your profile, in case you would like to
Ooh,
have them whatever you want.
ooh, I can't wait for that. Um, Nevertheless, I have pointed out a not where he is currently at, but where I could see him poking his combatant head out.
All right. In that case, I execute the enemy and we go on our way. Um,
Okay.
Further down the path, inside of gas station, you find a item that I am
Shit.
looking for. So mark that item wherever you may want it to be.
Okay. Um, Presumably we went to this building, and I had found Tushanka, the most famed acclaimed beef stew. Um, and it is right there for you, comrade. I currently will be waiting by the gates back here.
All right, awesome. You now want to. You saw an enemy exit castle. You now want to show me the direction in which he headed, and where you think he might end up. Go ahead and display that to me.
Real quick, just wanted to note, as I was messing with the legends just now, it just now brought up these X's next to the icons to do that, to get rid of them, or so I had presumed. I presumed correctly, and it didn't do that prior. So I kind of wanted
So
some
that
information
was
on
a
that.
task that was gonna come up in the future. It's okay that you've already done it, so no worries. Essentially, that is how you
Okay.
remove tags. As the functionality is set, I also should be able to remove the tags that you create. Um,
Okay.
so if I go in there, I can go ahead and click on your tag and delete it
Hmm.
myself. As you
Gotcha.
can see. That way, everybody has control over that. And in case, yep, exactly, you want to clear up the map from some clutter.
Nice. Okay. Could you spell out that scenario again?
You saw an enemy leave castle, and you want to show me the location he headed towards, and the possible place he'll end up.
Assuming we're still at the gate here.
Correct.
Okay. I saw a combatant go out from castle, and this is where I'll again make the remark of different colors of lines or different colors that we can make here. But the combatant made his way over here and is trying to make his way because there's no way to get into this building. So he's trying to make his way over to this wall. I'm going to do dashes as predicted field of movement. Okay, that didn't quite work as well. So I'll go ahead and put my legend right. Okay, that did. Okay. For that, what just happened there? Because it kind of took a second for it to place down. It I clicked it, but I accidentally dragged a little bit, and so it kind of didn't know what to do there for like a millisecond.
Um,
Um,
uh,
Nevertheless, it's still placed.
I'll take that into consideration on the responsiveness of the map. But continue.
Mhm. Um, this is where the combatants currently was en route to.
Okay. Uh, so that will be good enough for that test. Finally, after that engagement, it was actually a three-man. You and your team have um, reduced ammo, so um, go ahead as team leader, check everyone's status.
Okay. Checked everyone's status. Everyone's got like maybe well, okay, one person has
With
two different mags.
with
Oh,
our
sorry,
map.
go ahead.
So the team will be able to update their status on ammo, armor, and health inside of the app within the player display circles.
Oh, okay. I didn't uh conceive that any.
Yeah,
Um
it's a feature we created. So just trying to see how self-explanatory it is.
okay. So I tried to click this bottom right uh third of a circle, and I have user 1 through 4. I assume that's going to be related to the player.
In
I
the
do not.
future, it
Go
will
ahead.
only show the amount of users that you have inside of your raid, and it
Hmm.
will also update visually on the circle below.
Gotcha. Okay. I do not know what these letters and number or these letters mean. I uh, I assume they're acronyms, but I do not know what they refer to.
In that case, I'll just let you know it's ammo, health, and armor.
Armor. Okay.
Um, you
Um.
you would be
Yep. Go
user
ahead.
one, so go ahead and update your status.
Okay. So ammo, health, armor. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna click on it, see if it changes the color. That's neat. I'm predicting red, green is good. Uh, orange is relatively amber, or rather, used some ammo. Red is close to no ammo, and then blackout. We're black on ammo.
You would be
No
correct.
ammo.
It does go off of the military colors, the green, amber, red, and black. So you would be correct, assuming that.
Okay. Uh, that being said, um, I will go ahead say that I'm red on ammo, and health is amber. Armor, I was a silly Billy and didn't bring armor in at all. So, um, that's kind of the update that I want right there.
All right, that's
As to apply that to, I assume it's supposed to apply to the circle itself, right?
you would be correct. Right now, that portion of our app is not connected to the servers, but once it should
Gotcha.
be updating on its own for everyone.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna press this green button because it's green.
That's
Uh,
just so the overall display basically is going to show you the overall status of your team. You killed them.
ah.
Ah,
Oh.
um,
Oops.
it's okay. All right, and that would be the conclusion to our testing. Thank you again for helping us out, and um, I hope you stay tuned for future updates.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Hello. Thanks for taking the time to help us today with testing of our app. Please briefly introduce yourself and explain how much Tarkov experience or gaming experience you feel you have.
Absolutely. Hello, I'm Kyle. As far as Tarkov experience, I don't have any. However, I am an avid gamer. I game quite a bit, so I'm interested to see how this application goes.
Okay, Kyle. Today we'll be showing you a prototype of a new companion app and asking for your feedback. We call it a usability study. This version of the application is just a prototype. a rough mock-up, and it's not completely built yet. Some functionalities are missing, others are there. The reason we're showing you this is to get your feedback before the team builds the real version, before we complete it. So don't worry about breaking anything. If you do, just move forward if you can, and if
Mhm.
not, we'll reset the instance. And I will be providing you with a few tasks to roleplay as you use the prototype. Please think out loud as you use the prototype. Talk through your thought process. Use the prototype as you would in familiar settings, so any apps that may feel similar. Point out anything you like. That may be this button doesn't look good, this button is in a weird place, anything positive or negative. Uh,
Okay.
Also, let me know if you think of any improvements or missing functionalities. There is no
Okay.
correct or incorrect way to do things. Just do what you think you should be able to do in the way that you would like to do it. Uh, if you feel stuck or anything like that, please let me know and we'll talk about how you would expect to proceed. Um,
Okay.
we're in no way testing you. This is all about the prototype and what works and what doesn't. If you ask any questions, I might respond with, well, what do you think it should do, or how would you um, do that in another setting? So basically, just do what you think is going to get you to the goal. If you would like to stop at any point to take a break, just let me know. Are you ready to begin?
Absolutely. Let's get this thing started.
All right, so for your first task, I want you to create an account or sign in as a guest.
Okay. So first, I'm going to go for the login because typically there's well, I could continue as guest. Maybe I'm going to click sign on with email. No, never mind. I'll just continue as guest, not make an account for right now.
Okay. Since you chose to continue as a guest, you don't need to worry about anything in your account, and it just will delete after you leave the instance.
Okay.
That is your first
Um,
task. You completed it successfully. Any thoughts on it?
only thought would be possible back button out of the pop-up screen because I didn't see one. There might have been one. But possible back out just in case that they meant to create an account and couldn't create an account.
Okay. That will be taken
Mhm.
into consideration. For
Mhm.
your second task, I will have you access the item list, adjust the count, and access the temporary list info display.
Okay. So you said access the item list?
Yes, the item list for the tracker.
Okay. Well, let's go. I'm going to say tracker then.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
All right.
This definitely looks like an item list.
All right. There seems to be a bug that you don't know about, so I'm gonna let you continue on with what you say. This is just for my reference. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to scroll through the item list, look through it a little bit. Um, am I allowed to like say anything that it looks like graphically wise, like comparison to another game?
Yes. Maybe not another game, but maybe similar apps.
Oh, okay. Uh, okay. I do like the the um the list per se. It's like inclusive. We got a lot, and then ooh, I can search stuff. Let's see. So
So sadly, at the moment, the search capability is not available on the prototype. So I do
okay.
apologize.
Oh, that's fine. But once that's up, that should be fairly useful. But yeah, I like the comprehensive item list. What
You
next?
you would have to access the info display on an item. It is a temporary page at the
Oh,
moment. Um, and that's it.
Oh,
And then
all right.
you can also adjust the count as a thing, and that would
Okay.
ideally save on for your account. But you're a guest, so it won't save.
Mm,
But it would ideally save to an account. And this page right now is just a temporary page. We can't pull, or we haven't um, gotten all the information to fill these blocks. Like,
yeah.
for example, the description for the loot lord is correct, but this is the AKM wooden handguard. But in the
Mhm.
future, it will have the full description and all the boxes that it displays.
Okay.
Go ahead and return back to the home page.
All right.
All right. For your next task is you will create a path and save it.
All right. All right. This is cool. Let's see. Remove T, remove Q, remove A, remove H. Okay, I see that. So I wonder if I could be able to grab. Okay.
So, for context in this um,
Mhm.
area, the tags are not currently mapping for the path, so those won't be saved. Uh,
Okay.
but whatever you draw on the canvas, it will be saved. The purpose of paths is to plan a essentially a path to take from beginning to end of your raid. So if
Okay.
you would just mock up any path, you can decide where you start and where you end, and then save that as a path so that you can access later.
Okay. So this is gonna be X is where I'm gonna start. Start over here, and we're gonna go. And there's no like I can make the path however I want.
Yes, you can make the path however you want.
Sweet. We're gonna go through these shipping containers, which I'm assuming they are because they're on a bridge. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna bust through the front freaking door. And we're gonna go in here, and that's gonna be our plan of attack. Because we got a little right here, and that's cover. That's cover. Okay. And do you want me to make a path through the whole compound, or is this good?
No, that should be fine. It should display the functionality. You can continue to play with it if you want. Otherwise, go ahead and try and save it.
Okay. Let's see about saving, 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 saving. Save. F11.
If you feel stuck,
Maybe.
you just
Huh?
need to ask. I'll just guide you a
Yeah.
little bit. So if you look to your left, you do have access to a sidebar.
Oh, I see. Right there.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
And then,
If anything, I would say like make that a red arrow because it kind of blended in.
okay, so visibility, I'll take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Uh, all right. And save.
Yes.
Okay. Image
Uh,
uploaded.
All right. So that prompt just lets the developers know that and the user know that your path has actually been uploaded onto our database. So go ahead and return to the home page and we'll go to the
Okay.
next path or the next task.
But, all right. To the home page. Let's see.
You're going to have to use the back arrows.
Okay, back arrow.
Yep.
Gotcha. Home page.
All right. So for the next task, if you don't mind putting it in full screen again.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. For the next task is going to be you're going to create a raid and select a path with it. Being Escape from Tarkov, your raid would be attempting to escape from Tarkov. That's a clue.
Okay. So just click escape. Click probably create. Am I going the right way?
You are correct. You will be
Okay.
selecting the customs map as well.
Okay. Interesting.
So you have to click on the left side.
On the left.
Oh,
Okay. Let's see. Customs. There.
yep.
Okay. And that's a map from earlier. Pass. Yo, that's plan A. Let's go. All right. And there we go. You see
All
that
right.
little pass down there? And then pick my username.
Yep.
Um, just be basic. And we'll go ahead and start the raid.
All right. In this,
Oh, I didn't.
it's all right.
Hmm.
It's free to be drawn on. So
Oh,
in this screen, you will be having your raid. This is where all your members of your team are going to be able to see the same map, the same path, and what everybody draws on. Um, so for purposes, I'm going to be saving your raid code because you will be
mhm.
joining back in as a different individual.
Okay.
The
So you said you're saving the raid code?
Yeah, so you're
Okay.
I'm just typing it down so we don't forget it. That's all. Um, so now that you've created a raid, you're going to be playing as one of your friends. Essentially, you're gonna have to gather some information for your friend, which is going to be the raid code. That way, they're able to join. So, if you could locate the raid code, that way, that
That
way.
raid code is going to be join code DV6G.
All right. So assuming your friend got that code, it's perfectly fine. Um, Go ahead and hit start raid.
Okay.
And
Starting raid.
could you open up a new browser?
Yes. Let me just do this. And then, am I streaming screen or browser? Can I open up a new tab?
Uh, you should be able to open up a new tab.
New tab, same website?
Same website.
Okay. And is it streaming still for the?
Yeah, it's still streaming.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Ready? So
Mm-hmm.
that's not gonna
Yeah.
work. So I'm actually gonna create a raid on my end, and you're going to be joining it. So go ahead and return to your the regular path. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So for your next task, you're going to be joining a raid. So go ahead and end this raid and return to the home page.
Okay. And we're going
Uh,
to be joining?
you will be joining. Just give me one moment to create it on my end.
Absolutely.
All right, your join code is going to be lowercase v, uppercase B, 03.
All right.
Go ahead and hit join. You have joined my raid. So for this, I want you to draw on the map and basically just be like, here, notice this, or some sort of or yeah, draw the path again.
Okay. So let's say, for instance, we start here. Both of us are chilling. Go to those containers. Use them as cover. Stay around this side. Uh, try to remain behind the containers as much as possible because we don't want anyone seeing us from this building. Going down.
Okay. So I'm gonna say I noticed an enemy right about there.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So there's an enemy there. Uh, so we
So
can. So this is essentially like a command table, almost like, right?
that would be correct, yes.
Like from the military. Okay, that makes sense. So if there's an enemy there, can I retroactively plan ahead and uh, like for the sake of the app, like if you or does it have to be like real time? Like I mean, we're using the app as we're playing Escape from Tarkov, or is this like a pre-planning?
So right now it would be during the actual raid. When you're
Okay.
creating the paths, that's the retroactive planning, where you would plan out a raid and then you would adjust as you go. Because in the
Mhm.
game, it's you never know what's gonna come next, essentially.
Okay. Okay. So this would be plan alpha, and then if we know someone there, we can go with like a different plan.
Essentially,
Mhm.
essentially, as the user or the captain that you're playing the role as, you're the one that's gonna be deciding what we're gonna do next as fast as
Okay.
possible.
So as far as
Obviously,
the
other
mhm.
players can do so, but it would be your job in this scenario.
Okay. So as far as the enemy there, granted that they don't have communications with anyone else and it's a standalone enemy, I would go ahead and as long as we have firepower superiority, I would go after them. Um, we have two people, so that should be enough if it's one guy. Now, if it's like a group of people, we're going to try to evade that and continue on our path here, staying would stay on this side more so of the containers, unless we see an enemy like here, for instance. But
So a
hopefully
quick
not.
note: to actually drop a tag, you have to press the keybind.
Okay, I see.
Otherwise, it'll pop up in a weird place.
I got you. Let's
I
do
do
this
apologize for that.
like that.
Yeah, you'd press if you want to drop. Yep, just like that.
All right, perfect. So if we saw one there, that would be problematic because they'd probably hear us over here. So, this is interesting. Uh, let's see. Something that I would like in the future of the app, if possible, if I was using this, I would recommend different colored lines. Um, just so, like, let's say, like, I'm planning something and you're planning something. Um, then we can kind of distinguish whose lines are whose a little bit easier, or like plan A from plan B. You know what I mean?
That sounds perfect. We do have that in mind in the future. The feature is not yet implemented, so do stay tuned for it.
Okay. Let's see. Go through the warehouse. Go right here. Uh, let's see. So, for as far as the weapon icons, would that be like, hey, I found a gun here?
Um, Essentially, yes. Just be like loot or the icons. They are arbitrary. It basically just up to your team to decide what they mean.
Okay,
So you could be you could say really whatever you want.
that's
Um,
pretty sick.
let's just say that now that we've I'm gonna draw on the map now.
Yeah, go
Now that
ahead.
we've reached this area, right? We
Mm.
get into a firefight, and you you push this way. Just, come on, what happened? Sorry, my end froze real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Essentially, we stop right there behind the truck. One of us takes left, one of us takes right because we get separated. And
Okay.
you see that I may have a flank on the enemy because they're inside of that building, the big square building. Um, so just
You're talking about like right here,
no,
right?
no, no. At the end of your line. At the end of your
Oh,
line.
at the end of the line. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the square building right here.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So you said you're flanking left and I'm flanking right.
Yep. You don't
Okay.
have to draw that. Um, essentially, we did that while we were playing the game, and our hands are technically off the application at the moment.
Okay.
So we got separated. So
Okay.
once my end decides to come back, um, I will be. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
That way I can here. I might have to join this a different player.
Okay. This reminds me of like raid coordination in other games.
Yeah, actually, the app is meant to be able to, in the future, support custom maps and
Okay.
custom tags, so that people can essentially use it for any game that would apply.
hmm
Um,
Question. So can only four people? I mean, I know. So four people could probably only be in the party at a time on Tarkov, but can more people access this account, like this map, if they need to?
yes. Um, essentially, we're gonna have uh, spectator mode, and they will have a way to upload their own maps, and then we will have a way for the raid leader to upload their own map if they want to use a specific map that then everybody else that would be viewing could access.
That's
Um,
perfect.
yeah, like even if you wanted to, let's say, play League of Legends with this, and you wanted to be
Yeah.
like a team coordinator, you could
Yeah.
download a League of Legends map and do the same thing that we're doing here,
Or like World of Warcraft or anything like that
or
too, because I
anything
know. Yeah.
anything
Go
that
ahead.
anything that requires tactical
Yeah.
movement or anything like that.
hmm
I'm gonna ask you to rejoin the raid
Yeah.
using DV6G. So go ahead and copy and paste your raid code or your join code.
Okay. See. And I can just back out of this.
Yeah, just go ahead and back out, and you should be able to
Okay.
join.
Okay.
Um,
And you said the code is DV.
um, yeah, just 1 second. I'll pull it up. D capital V 6G.
Okay. All right, I'm in.
All right, perfect. So this is the one we had before. Went
Yep.
ahead and used it since we had the path.
Yep.
Uh, that way it'd just be easier. So we were right here, right? And I went
Mm-hmm.
off to this side. You went off to this side. You'll see them pop up
Okay.
in a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the enemy is in here, right? From my knowledge,
Okay.
of the map, or not even necessarily my knowledge, you are seeing it right here. You can see the enemy right here, right?
Yeah.
You can see them, and then
Yeah.
you also know there's an entrance over here, right? Over here.
Let me see. I might not.
So I circled it below.
Entrance. Oh, I see. Right
Yeah,
there. Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that the enemy's wide open for me to flank. Essentially, you want to you would be telling me you would be telling me the user to, or the other player to, take a path to, like, take a certain way that you think would be the best to attack that enemy from the position I am now.
Okay. So, from your position, I wouldn't go in like another building. Like, I wouldn't go off to your left if we're looking at the map. I wouldn't go off to the left or your right and like use that as cover because you do have that like little open door right there where you can just pop in, peek through, and get them. I could possibly provide support by going.
Go ahead and
Just in case you get compromised, I can go down
yeah,
south.
go ahead and draw what you would have us do on the map.
Okay, so I would have you go up here. Obviously, clear this. Make sure there's no enemies in that little pathway, so that you're safe. And then I would have you go here, and we do a little peak style right here. I don't want to necessarily get in your line of fire, so I might. Before you make, well, actually, no, that's a good idea. So you could, if you could tactically silently take them out, I might be able to make a diversion over here, um, somewhat to kind of make them distracted and look this way, and then maybe you can like melee them or use like a knife or something like that. Or if you have a silencer, you can use that.
All right. That's perfect. So I'm assuming that your tactics made us win. So cool.
That
Um, so go ahead and go back to the home screen.
home screen. Oh, okay. Let's see. Home screen, home screen, home screen.
Just the back button
Oh
for
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
You're
Home
right.
screen. Okay.
And all right. Uh, that was also your fifth task. Just for your sixth task, we're gonna go back and create a new raid.
Okay.
Just in customs.
Okay. And can it be anything like plan A or can I
Yeah,
just
you can do anything you want. Just create a raid
okay.
with
I'll just make a
customs.
blank. Can I make a blank template?
You can.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
All right. And you will be dropping a tag anywhere on the map.
A tag anywhere on the map. Okay, so I will drop this. Do this. I'll go here, and then okay.
Did you press the keybind
Oh, there we
or?
go. Yeah, I just pressed it.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's
Okay.
okay.
Mm, need not to drag. Boop. There we go. Do you? Oh, I drew a line.
Yeah. Go ahead and try again. You just encountered one of the bugs. Refresh
Mm,
the page. Oh, actually, you have to hit start raid before any paths or any tags can be placed
Uh,
or any lines can be drawn. So I
I
do
see that.
apologize. I should have informed you of that before.
Oh no, you're good. All right, and we're gonna just boop, place that there. Awesome. Um,
All right. And for your final task, I want you to explore the map and just explore all four corners essentially.
okay. All right. Bottom left. We got a little skull and crossbones over here. Bottom right. All right. I think we already got the top. Is that the top? Oh no. I need to grab. Grab. There we go. And there. I'm like, I
With
just zoomed out all the way.
it is a way.
If that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can see all the corners pretty well. Pretty detailed as well.
Okay, and that would conclude our testing. I do thank you again for your feedback. Do you have anything else that you would like to add to the usability features and any accessibility?
Yeah, I think that it's really good as far as if I was playing a game that required tactical strategy and like we need real time stuff as well as a pre plan. Um, as far as the pre planning, pretty much that just colors can work, but I can also see working around the colors by doing different map plans, perhaps, or different people using different uh, item figures. For instance, like you could say blue is where you died, and then Black Skull is where I died, or something like that. But no, I think it's really well put together.
All right.
Yeah.
Any improvements or things that were difficult to navigate?
Okay, so as far as improvements, what I would suggest is putting maybe a little info tab on the upper left over here. Not like a tab or anything, but like an info just to say like how to operate the key bindings. Like for instance, like uh, let's see. I mean, it's you can pretty much figure it out, but for some people, it might be better just to hit like the like say hit the keybind and then click to place.
Okay, that sounds good.
Um, as far as the lines I already told you about that, I do like the real time tracking as well. That's cool. Um, let's see. Yeah, I mean, as far as mapping out a battle plan, that's good. Only problem I had on this map is I can scroll left. You can see here and
Yes.
right, left and right. But scrolling up, I have to use mouse wheel. That's the only problem, really. But that might be because I zoomed in and out with my control on the keyboard.
Uh, it actually is one of a bug that we do encounter. It is because the container that scrolls the map, um, it just has double scroll bars, as you can see down there.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how to um, remove those, and I'm pretty sure it's because you're using, I'm assuming, Chrome.
Yes, sir.
It only appears in Chrome, so and I mean
Okay.
other Chrome-like browsers. So we need to figure out how to adjust that for specific browsers.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no. One final note. Let's see. One final note would be, and I'm not sure if this is already implemented. I don't know how to use it. Would be to take back a line, like an undo button.
Okay, that sounds good. We will take that into consideration, and very likely we'll be applying that in the future.
All right, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got as far as notes.
All right. I appreciate your participation, and that will conclude our testing.
All right, thank you.
Thank you as well. Hello, thank you for taking the time to help us today with the testing of our app. Please briefly introduce yourself and explain how much Tarkov experience or gaming experience you have in general.
Hello, my name is Kay West. I have very little Tarkov experience, but with other video games, pretty moderately well experience.
Okay. Okay, today we'll be showing you a prototype of the new companion app, of our new companion app, and asking for your feedback. We call this a usability study. This prototype is a rough mockup that is not yet built. The reason we're showing you this is to get feedback before the team builds the real version. Don't worry about breaking anything. I will be providing you with a few tasks to roleplay as you use the prototype. Please think out loud as you use the prototype. Talk through your thoughts. through your thought process. Use the prototype as you would in a familiar setting. Point out anything you like. Also, let me know if you think of any improvements or missing functionality. There is no correct or incorrect answer or incorrect way to do things. Just do what you think you should do or you should be able to do in the way that you would like to do it. If you ever feel stuck, please let me know and we can talk about how you would expect to be able to proceed. We are in no way testing you. This is all about the prototype and what works and what doesn't. If you
Okay.
ask questions, I might respond with some form of, well, what do you think I should do? Or what do you think it should do? Um, I might also ask you to think out loud at various stages of the testing. And my goal is to see how you manipulate the app and how you think, essentially. If you
Okay.
would like to take a break at any point, please let us know. And is it okay if we begin?
Yes, it's okay.
All right. So for your first task, it's going to be to create an account or log in as a guest.
Okay. I'm gonna log in as a guest.
Okay. All right. That completes your first task. You have signed in as a guest. The next thing you will do is access the item list, adjust the count of a particular item by accessing the temporary list info display.
Okay. Would that be the Escape from Tarkov app?
Uh,
Or
if that's where you think the item tracker would be, then go ahead.
oh, okay, it's probably Tracker. Okay. And what do I need to do again?
You need to adjust the count by accessing the temporary info display.
Oh, hmm.
Make sure
Adjust
that
it.
you think out loud. So if you're gonna click on something, just say why you would click on it, um,
Okay, so
etc.
I clicked on it because it had the information icon, and I just assumed this would be how I changed the inventory. Here to my right, I see a little box, so it looks like I can like maybe add or take away from the inventory. So that looks right. Um, and I see it has a description. This is a loot lord, plush away from a famous Tarkov resident. So I want 5 of those because I know that's popular in Tarkov. And this is pretty cool. It says needed for quests. It says one needs to be found in raid for the quest collector. Locations found. Create listing script. But I really like the needed for quests. That's cool.
Yes, right now that page only has dummy info, so it won't actually display the correct information. But you have
Hmm.
completed the task, and we'll move on to the next part. Go ahead and return to the home page.
Okay.
Okay, so now I will have you create and save a path.
Okay. So I'm gonna click on paths. That sounds like that would be the place to go. I
And
see
since
a
you have
map.
less experience in Tarkov, I'll explain what a path is or the purpose of a path. Essentially, it's just a plan for your team to execute whenever you go into raid. At the moment, the tags are not available during the path creation, so
Hmm.
just stick to drawing on the canvas.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look at it and try to come up with like hopefully somewhat of a game plan. um. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on the screen. I'm assuming that's all I need to do to start drawing. Yeah, and we're gonna go in this building. Let's check out loot. Hopefully leave the back way. Hit this building. Check out loot. Then we're gonna stealthily, hopefully leave. And boom, we're done. That's my
Okay.
path.
Uh, if you're done with your path, go ahead and save the path.
Okay. Um Hmm. So I'm trying to figure out how to save. I don't see like a save button. Is there something I have to press?
Maybe look around for a menu or a sidebar.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
If you're still stuck, there's going to be a sidebar on the left side of the screen. There's a little arrow pointing.
Oh, I see it. Okay. It was just hard to see on my end because my monitor is big.
It's okay. That is something that we will take into consideration to make it more visible. Go
Okay.
ahead and choose a path. Please do not apply any special characters.
Okay. This path name is Alpha A, and then I see the save button, but I didn't see it until I put my mouse over it. So I just want to let you know.
I
But I
will
see the save now.
I will take that into consideration and fix that in later iterations.
Okay, so I'm gonna save it. Okay,
All right.
save, and then it says image uploaded. So I'm gonna click on OK.
All right. You have
Oh,
completed the task. You have successfully uploaded a path to your temporary account. For that, now I want you to return back to the home page for your next task.
okay. I'm assuming I click on this. Oh, where'd it
Uh,
go?
you
No.
have to exit full screen, so Alt F1
Oh, okay.
or F11, sorry,
Okay.
and then you use the back arrow.
Oh, this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm
All
gonna put
right.
back on screen.
I appreciate it. Okay, for your next task, you're going to create a raid for your Escape from Tarkov match.
Okay. A raid. um. Hmm. Create. Where's my path?
You first have to select the map that you created the path in, which was
Oh.
customs.
Okay. Customs. Oh, there it is. Alpha A. Oh, I see my drawing. That's pretty cool. Okay.
All right,
Um.
and if you actually scroll down on the page, you will see below where you can insert your username and start the raid.
Okay. K101. I'm gonna start the raid. Okay. Now we're
All
in raid.
All right, you have successfully created the raid. Um, the next task is for one of your friends to join you in raid. So I will be mocking as the friend that's going to join.
Okay.
So if you could provide to me the join code.
Yes. It's O capital X lowercase q and then capital T.
Capital T. All right, that is perfect. And as you can see, I've joined your raid.
Oh wow, that's very cool. Yeah, I see your name on there.
Okay. Um, just one moment. All right. For your next task, is going to be telling me that you spotted an enemy in room 103 of the first building. Uh,
Mhm.
you can show that to me in any way that you'd like, either by drawing or by placing down a tag after you hit start raid.
Okay, so I'm starting grade, and to show you that there's an enemy in 103, I'm gonna. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay. So I put the guy in 103.
You have to use the keybinds. So
Oh,
press the letter that it's coordinated to the.
E. Oh, okay, okay. Can I make it bigger or smaller?
No, it's gonna actually just paste down. It's gonna get a little bit smaller.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. So I put the red guy in 103 to show him that there's a bad guy in there, and I didn't pick the skull because I'm assuming skull means that they're dead.
Okay. Um. So you successfully told me where it was. We'll go ahead and move forward to the next building. And I would like you to remove the tag so that your team doesn't get confused.
Okay. So let's see. So I'm removing it. I'm just gonna press the X. Yep, and it's gone. And then what's the next step you want me to do?
So the next step that I'm gonna have you do is I have spotted an enemy, which I am going to mark down on the map.
Hmm.
Um, After I mark it on the map, I want you to show your location to me with either a tag or drawing. Okay?
Okay.
So we're in building 2, and I see an enemy in 214.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and you can choose wherever you are in that building. Just let me know where I am in the building or where you are in the building.
Okay, I am by the showers and I'm just gonna draw my initial so that way you clearly know it's me. Okay.
Okay. All right. That is perfect. That completes that task. For your next task, I'm gonna have you open the player info screen. After we dispatch the enemy, you would like to update your player status to let your team know how you're doing on health, ammo, and armor.
Okay. Hmm. So, oh, okay. Maybe I wasn't supposed to click that.
That is actually exactly where you were supposed to go. That is
Oh,
the user
fine.
display screen. Right now, it just has dummy data. Uh, so the
Okay.
information displayed to you is a default that we created.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you want to update user one, that would be who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to update your ammo and armor.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Does it just change colors or can I actually?
It does change colors.
Okay.
The colors are
Mhm.
arbitrary to your team, but by default, green would be completely full, yellow would be less than full, red would be close to empty, and black would be completely out.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So I probably have less ammo from all the enemies we've been killing. My health is good because we're amazing at this game. And then my armor is a little bit damaged because they got me a little bit. So that's mine.
All right, awesome. Uh, that concludes our task for today. Thank you for joining us and helping us with the usability testing.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Hmm.
Hello, thanks for taking the time to help us today with the testing of our app. Please briefly introduce yourself and explain how much Tarkov experience or gaming experience you have in general.
Uh, yeah, no problem. My name is Gabriel Kuzan, and as far as video games in general go, I have a lot of experience, primarily in first-person shooters, actually. But when it comes to Tarkov, I've never played it at all, not even a minute. So,
Okay. Well, that'll be okay. Today we'll be showing you a prototype of our new companion app, asking for your feedback. We call this a usability study. This prototype is a rough mock-up that is not yet built, and the reason we are showing you this is to get feedback before the team builds the real version. Don't worry about breaking anything. I will be providing you with a few tasks to roleplay as you use the prototype. While you do these tasks, please think out loud as you use the app. Take take through or talk through your thought process. Use the prototype as you would in a familiar setting. Point out anything you like. Also, let me know if you think of any improvements or missing functionality. There is no correct or incorrect way to do things. Just do what you think you should be able to do in the way that you would like to do it. If you ever feel stuck, please let me know and we can talk about how you would expect to be able to proceed. We are in no way testing you. This is all about the prototype and what works and what doesn't. If you ask questions, I may respond with what do you think it should do or how would you go about that normally. Um, if you would like to stop at any point or take any breaks, please let us know. Is it okay if we begin?
Sure.
All right, for your first task, you will be creating an account or signing in as a guest to our app.
Okay. So if I'm signing in as a guest, I assume I need to click this login button here. Sign in with email. I could continue as a guest, as you just said, so I will.
Okay.
And it appears that I'm logged in since it says log out here.
Okay. That completes your first task. Your second task is access the item list. Adjust the count by accessing, or adjust the count of an item by accessing the temporary list info display.
Okay. Well, I'm going to assume that this is here, tracker. Okay, and it looks like I have an item list. And I think you said to adjust the count of an item?
Yes, any item. It does not matter which.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused there. I'm not gonna lie. I was clicking things and nothing was really happening. Clicking on the name, nothing happens. Clicking on the photo, nothing happens. And then I come over here and I click this button, and it takes me to this list. So I guess in retrospect, it does make sense, but at first it doesn't. It's not very clear. Maybe make it to where if you just click the tile in general, like the text, the image, whatever, it takes you to this screen. I don't know. That's just what I think. Anyway, you said to adjust the count, so I'm gonna assume that we just do that. Here, let's put 3.
All right.
3.
That's perfect. You have completed the task. At the moment, this screen doesn't have all the information. We still need to gather all of that from the game, but it does adjust the count for the specific item that you have selected. Please return to the home screen for your next task.
Okay, return to the home screen.
Okay, for your third task, create a path and save it.
Create a path and save it. Okay, so for creating paths, I assume I gotta go over here to this button that says pass. Pretty self-explanatory, I feel. And you said to create a path and save it?
Yes. A path
Okay.
is simply just your game plan, the route that you're going to take from where you start to extraction.
I see. Okay. Well, how do I... Okay, do I just drag? Oh,
At
I
the
see. Okay, I can drag and drop.
at the moment, the tags actually are bugged in this screen, so I would refrain from using them. But you can definitely still use the drawing feature.
I understand. Um, okay. Start here, I guess. And go over to this ting here. I don't know what this is. It looks like a school, maybe a bunker of some sort. I'm not quite sure. I've never played Tarkov before, but we'll go in there and we'll loot, I guess. And then after we loot, come over here, enter through this building here, I guess. You know, loot whatever's in there, and then yeah, I don't know. Is there a specific place we can extract? I assume this means you die
You
if you go
can
past there.
extract from anywhere you would like, since you do not know where the extracts are. So just come up with the location that you would like to extract through.
Okay, cool. So then we'll use this to get onto the street, I guess, and clear it this way, right? And then, yeah, I guess we'll just extract here. So we'll put an E for extract, I guess, since that's just the way I like to do things. And an S for start. And then you said to save this.
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking around, trying to find out how can this be saved. On here, you told me not to use these, but I don't see anything here. And I don't see anything below the map or anything. And I don't see anything on the map itself. So it doesn't look like there's a button. So maybe I press a key?
No, so there's actually a sidebar available to you. It's a little hard to see. It's all the way on the left.
Oh.
It's alright, just go back to paths.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my stuff is not here. So we're just gonna, yeah, extract. Done.
Yeah.
I'll have to be careful for that in the future. So there's a sidebar, you say. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Now that you've given me that hint, I see the arrow here. It's a little hard to see. Since, this bar goes left and right. But, okay. Now I assume I click this, and we'll just name it path 1 to extract. And I noticed that the lettering of these buttons doesn't show up until you put your cursor over them. So that's probably something you guys will have to fix in the future, maybe.
Yeah, it's a
We'll click
bug.
save. Image uploaded. Okay.
Alright. You have completed the task. Now go ahead and head back to the home screen and for your next task. You're going to have to use the back arrows from the browser and this screen.
I see. Okay, I'm back on the home screen.
Alright, for your next task is you're going to create a raid in the map customs using your path.
Okay. Let's see.
A raid.
Well, this was for the list, and then this was for the pass. So by process of elimination, I'll assume that a raid can be made by clicking the Escape from Tarkov button. So you said to create a raid, so I guess I'll create one. And we'll choose factory.
The map has to be customs. That's where you made the path.
Oh, customs, I see.
Yes.
Ah, okay. And then I can come over here to this drop down. Path to extract. Put that back up. Ah, I see. Okay. Nice, good stuff. Okay, so that makes sense. I click customs, and then I come over here to the custom pathing, and then I click that path, and then I put the arrow back up. Something I feel like would be nice to have. It's not really necessary. Not really like a gripe. Just a tiny little thing to critique, I guess, is when I open this drop down and I click my selection, this drop down should close. I feel.
Okay.
Just get it out of my face so I can see that my path is there 110%. So what was it? What else did you need me to do? I'm sorry. You wanted me to create a raid with a custom,
And
right?
using the path, yes. So the place where you start or where you would create the raid is a little bit off the screen if you scroll down.
Oh, I see. Okay. Pick your username. I'll just go with my typical Prodigal Pyro. We'll start the raid.
All right. You successfully created the raid. Just make sure that your path did show up. So wherever you drew your stuff. All right. It is there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. For the next task, I will be joining your raid. So if you could give me the join code.
The join code, excuse me, the join code says it is SAGB with a capital G.
All right. All right. I have successfully joined your raid. For your
I can
next
see there.
for your next task, you will draw on the map depicting an enemy that you saw. You can use tags in this version, but you must start the raid first, and you must use the keybinds.
I see. So I'll start the raid. So we're raiding right now, and we're going through, and we're going with the plan. And oh no, there's an enemy right here. Enemy. No good. Bad. You see?
Okay. Yep.
Very bad. Oh, and I see that in the log there's a change here. Okay, that's cool.
Yep. I will also be able to see your chain. I say that I killed the enemy, so I placed down a tag where he died, and then I see that I see another enemy, and I have lost track of you. So I'm placing down where the enemy is, and you would tell me where you are with the tags.
Where I am currently. Okay, well,
Please use the keybinds. When you drag and drop, it does not mount.
I see. My mistake.
It's not your fault.
Okay, so you said the enemy's here. The old enemy died here. Uh, Normally I wouldn't use a blue skull for this, but I'm just gonna use it anyway. It seems like the most representative of what I'm trying to say. I'm chilling over here. This is where I'm at here. I'm at this three-way intersection here, and this.
That concludes that task for the map interaction. The next thing is you want to remove the tags. Our fight is over, and you want to unclutter the map. So go ahead and remove the tags.
Remove the tags.
Yes, all the tags that we added.
Okay. Uh. Okay. How do I? Well, I'm trying to use keybinds, but nothing is working. So maybe okay. So I can just click on the tags and then click the X's on them and get rid of them that way. Okay, that was good. And you wanted me to just completely declutter the map entirely?
So right now, if you clear the lines, if you clear the map, it's just gonna get redrawn again by the server. You can clear it by pressing K, um, but it's not a complete feature.
Oh, I see. Well, it looks like the tags are all gone.
All right, you have interacted with the tags and decluttered the map as best as you could. So for your final task is now that we are out of the fight and have a moment to think, you want to go ahead and update your player's status.
Update my player's status. I see. I clicked on here thinking maybe this would help me.
That you would be correct at the moment. The
But the thing is I don't know what any of this means at all.
those numbers are or those symbols are arbitrary. Essentially, for Tarkov, it represents armor, health, and ammo. Um, but they can represent anything you want, and in the future they will be represented by images.
Oh, I see. I see. So I change my status, you say?
Yes, being the person creating the
Yeah,
account, you would be user one.
yeah, that makes sense. So, okay. We'll just say my armor's red and my health is orange. And, okay.
All right, that will conclude your task and the testing for today. I do appreciate your help with the app. Do you have any further feedback on the application?
Um, just a couple things. First of all, I don't know if this is actually possible. I've been trying to kind of do it myself, but is it at all possible to zoom out on the map?
No, not yet, but it is a feature we have in mind.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely something I would recommend you get ASAP. If I were in a game like Tarkov, I would imagine that having a map as zoomed in as this would be very, very hard to keep track of, as opposed to just having everything on the screen at once.
Yeah,
Obviously, it'd be useful to zoom in. I'm sure you'll have that as well, but there you go. When I open my status and I click these, I like how the colors change, but nothing else appears to happen. Like this status changed for green, green, blue, and green to green, green, blue, and red.
yeah.
First of all, I have no idea what that means.
Essentially, the color system is based on the military color system being green, being completely full, amber, less than full, red, close to empty, and black, completely out. I don't expect you to know that, um, but that is what they represent. And at the current moment, the user circle and the menu are not connected, and neither is the the menu to the database, so there's no connection between them two to know what's going on. But they are supposed to change the sections of your circles so that you can see your status quickly or your teammate's status quickly.
I see. Okay, well that makes sense. I just feel like there should be a little more fluidity between the responsiveness of the two, because you can see I just changed everything to green, and this is still red. So
Yeah,
not sure what's going on there.
that's all. That's all supposed to be information that's shared from the server to the application, and because both of the components are not currently connected to our server, they don't have their functionality display.
That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, other than that, everything appears to be pretty good. I would say I like how you're joining via codes instead of just some other method. That's pretty simple and it works, you know.
Yep,
As long as the codes are unique, which I assume that they are.
they are.
But yeah. Other than that, my only thing was what I said in the beginning. When it comes to the list, you know, make it to where if you click anything in the tile, it will take you to the item instead of just clicking that button there.
Yeah. Did I
You know what I
see?
mean?
Yeah,
But
that's
other than that, yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. I have really no other comments or complaints or anything like that.
all right. Thank you for your feedback, and we appreciate your participation.
No problem.